Hi, everybody. Well, Frank Del Rio is stepping down as the Chief Executive Officer of Norwegian Cruise Line, and Harry Sommer is taking over. And he sent us a message. I'll let you hear that message, and I have some comments. Okay, so Frank Del Rio put out a video to us in the travel agents and the tourism industry, explaining that he's stepping down and how he appreciated all of things, and he highly recommended the people taking over to him. He's excited to see what they do, etc., 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 which is great. And then Harry J. Sommer came in and he had a little speech directly talking to us travel agencies, and he said basically something along this line.
I have to thank Frank first and foremost for his mentorship, guidance, and friendship since our first encounter back in 1993 and continuing through the past 15 years in the company. Frank has been a constant source of inspiration, innovation, and ingenuity throughout my entire career. Needless to say, I have big shoes to fill, but as many of you know, I never say no to a challenge, and I'm committed to doing everything I can to build on this incredible legacy and position Norwegian for continued success. In order to achieve that success, I need your partnership now more than ever. The trade community is invaluable for our business, and even more so now as we gear up to deliver on our industry-leading growth profile, representing over 50% growth over 2019 levels. As many of you know, I founded and ran a successful cruise-focused travel agency myself once upon a time, and I know firsthand what you bring to the table. The opportunities are endless, and we are committed to investing in you and making sure you have the tools and resources needed to best serve your clients and drive demand to continue to grow your business. No one knows your clients better than you do, so I encourage and value your candid and honest feedback that can help us reach our shared goals. I'm all ears. And the same can be said for the rest of the management team across the Norwegian, Oceania, and Regent brands, along with their trade sales teams.
Okay, so he is now saying that his door is always open, he's ready to listen. So I have some suggestions. Surprise! As most cruisers out there, we know what we like, we know what we want, and we have heard some things that have happened recently on Norwegian Cruise Line that some of us just disagree with. So here's what I think right now. Number one is I did not like the fact that they raised gratuities up 20% and then cut the staff and the services on board. Give your employees a bit of a raise. I know you want to pay back all that money that you had to do during the pandemic to survive, but your employees are the reason a lot of people still keep going to your cruise line. If you cut back on them and they're more disgruntled and there's more turnover with your crew members, then you're going to have a worse cruise experience for your guests. And you may end up losing customers that way. That's number one. I'm okay with you going to the one service thing. A few places are doing that now. I don't like it. I like the two service things. I think when you go to one service, you're overworking your stewards because you give them so many cabins to do, and guests have a hard time even seeing their stewards now, and they all looked like they're run ragged. So I don't like that, but I can, maybe cut back on a couple of the staterooms and spread it out more instead of overworking them so much. But that's all the cruise lines that are doing that, not just NCL, but there's an idea as well. One of the big things I really have hated in the announcements that have been made is the cut back on the entertainment that you have on your ships. Getting rid of kinky boots on the Encore was a perfect example, and how you did it in the middle of their contract and said, yeah, go home, we don't need you anymore, was not a great look on the cruise line, and it's not a great look for people like me who really enjoy the big stage productions on a cruise ship. And here's the thing, my friends Tony and Jenny, they just came off the Prima. They were on a 7-day cruise, And I said, "Oh well, what was the shows like? How I don't know what the shows are on board, right? I really liked the shows when I was on the Getaway." And they said, "Well, the Donna Summer show was really, really good, really great performance." I said, "Oh, that's pretty good. I would enjoy that. It's disco. You really probably much have to like Donna Summers." But yeah, it sounds like it was a great show and everything. I said, "What were the other shows?" And they said, "There were none." They had some game shows, like The Price is Right, on the stage, but that's it. And then there are other venues, like the Comedy Club and the Music Place, where they would have the tribute to Fleetwood Mac. Those are smaller venues, hold maybe 70 to 100 people, out of ships that hold 3,000 people. Well, what? So you're telling me you have one stage performance in a 7-day cruise? And that's it? Yeah. No. That's cutting back way too much. You're supposed to be a premier. You keep saying you're the best in the industry, and then you can't even put on 2 stage productions at all in 7 days? Does that mean if I take a 14-day cruise, transatlantic on one of your brand new Prima ships or others, I'm only going to see that one show? Don't you have anything else? Cutting back entertainment is a very bad idea. Because for me, that's a no-go. When I heard that from Tony and Jenny's review of the Prima, the first thing that ran through my mind is, well, I guess I'm not going on the Prima. Because that's a big part of my cruising. I super enjoy the live shows and the entertainment. And you have some game shows running in the theater. Great. Other cruise lines do that as well in other places. They don't hold up the big theater for those game shows. Or they'll hold those game shows during the day on a sea day and still have production shows at night. So yeah, your cutting back on entertainment was a big no-no, and I really do hope you change that as well. Not to mention cutting back, let's just say going back to the muster drill, in-person muster drill. I have not gone on, I've gone on the getaway. I know Tony and Jenny have been on NCL twice since this change happened, and I don't know anyone who likes this. I don't know a single passenger who likes it. It's disruptive now to the cruise. And if we had no alternative, I completely agree. Yes, hey, we got to do it. But there is an alternative, an easier alternative. It might cost you a little more money to do, but it absolutely is much more convenient for your guests. Your guests now have to stop what they're doing. They just got on the ship, they're walking around, they're enjoying, they're getting into the cruise mood. Here we go, and then let's stop the fun, let's stop the excitement, and everybody crowd into some rooms, and it takes about an hour altogether by the time you start heading there and everyone gets in there, and by the time they start, to hear somebody say, here's the horn, here's the life jacket, if you hear that horn, come here. That's what you hear. That's all it is. And the other companies right now who are sticking to the new muster drill, you hear the horn on your phone or on your TV in your stateroom, it tells you here, and then you have to go find that station by yourself. There's nobody there, there's no big crowds from your stateroom at 4 o'clock heading down the corridors and down the stairs, and you're just following the crowd. You're just following the crowd to your muster station. It's less effective than finding it on your own. And it's a big inconvenience for your clients. Because instead of just during that hour, don't forget, everything shuts down. You can be in the middle of ordering a cocktail, a drink, arranging your dining, and all of a sudden, everything shuts down. Sorry, can't do anymore. You people have to all go away. Come back again in an hour and then get back in line for dinner reservations, and we'll start a new line. And I know you're right there. I know you're up next. But when you come back, you might be 30 more people away. It's a bad system when we have an alternative. And I really wish you would get away with that. It costs a little more. But I mean, you just saved a ton of money by cutting people's salary, cutting entertainment from your ships, raising gratuity prices, raising the cost on your cruise, raising cost of food, raising cost of the drink package. You've raised the cost of everything. I think you can spend a little money and get rid of the muster, Joe. There you go. You say you're listening. Well, let's find out.